Good morning everyone. Yesterday we have already discussed about the discovery of electrons, protons and neutrons, and then we have already discussed that what was the structure of atom that was proposed by J.J. Thomson, right? J.J. Thomson produced the watermelon model. According to him, these spaces, the red part which was present inside the watermelon, they resembles the positively charged subatomic particles, and the seeds which are embedded, they resembles like the negatively charged subatomic particle that were called as or known as electrons. But there were many drawbacks, right? So in order to study the next structure of atom that was given by Rutherford conducted his alpha particle scattering experiment, right? Let's have a look. Pay attention. We can see here there is a lead cavity inside of which radioactive samples are present. Now one can ask me, ma'am, why we are using a lead cavity, right? So in order to protect these radioactive samples, we are using this lead cavity. And what are alpha particles? These alpha particles which are emitted from these radioactive elements are nothing but positively charged heavy subatomic particle, right? Now we can see the presence of collimator beams. We can see the collimator beams present both at the upward as well as at the downward direction. Now, if there were no collimator beams, so in this picture we can see that collimator beams are not present. There is not a streamline flow of alpha particles. In order to move these alpha particles in a streamline motion, we will use collimator beams, right? Now, if we have this collimator beams, both in the upward and the downward direction, the alpha particles which are emitted from these radioactive elements, they will move in the straight direction. There will be no scattering of alpha particles in all the directions, right? Now we can see that we have taken a gold foil, a very thick in length, which is 2 into 10 to the power minus 17 meters, and then we have taken a zinc sulfide screen. Why we have taken the zinc sulfide screen? Whensoever the alpha particles from this radioactive sample crosses from the gold foil, there will be illumination or bright spots or scintillations which will be present when the alpha particles will be scattered on the zinc screen. So we can see now, in order to find out that are the alpha particles scattering or are the alpha particles striking down on the screen or not, we are using this illuminating screen which will brighten up or which will illuminate whensoever the particles will hit them. Now, what were the observations? Rutherford found out that most of the alpha particles were passing through these gold foil sheet in the straight line. What does we mean by movement of these alpha particles in a straight line? It means that lot of spaces inside this atom, suppose this is the structure of atom, so most of the spaces inside these atoms is the empty space. That is why the alpha particles were moving along the straight line. But also in the second observation we found out that one out of every 8,000 alpha particles got scattered with the angle theta, and where theta is the angle of scattering, right? So he came to the the size and shape of the structure of atom, right? According to him, the size of the atom is 10 into 10 to the power minus 10 meters, and nucleus size, which Rutherford explained, was 10 into 10 to the power minus 15 meters. So this was Rutherford's model, alpha model, through which he explained that the size of the nucleus is 10 into 10 to the power minus 15 meter, and the empty spaces which are present inside it. Now you will give me the answers, right? Mumina, can you tell me why Rutherford took radioactive material?
Because it scatters alpha particles.
Very good, because it scatters alpha particle, right? Through which what we can conclude, right? What was the conclusion of Rutherford scattering model?
That there is empty space in the atom.
Very
and
good.
There is some positively charged thing, that is nucleus, in the center of the atom.
Very good. Well said, Mumina. So, as we have heard, Mumina, that the conclusion of Rutherford model was that the structure of atom in which nucleus is present at its center.